everybody. Thank you for watching the session today. Last week we had shared a video interview of Dr. Rakesh giving us better and accurate information about coronavirus and some of the myths associated with that. If you have not watched the video, I would suggest you please watch it. So based on the interview, we received a lot of questions from our viewers about the virus and how to protect themselves. So before we start the questions, so we had some comments from our viewers about the previous interview. So I would like to show them to you. Hello, my name is Sangeeta Gala. That's my sign name and I'm from Bombay. I want to thank you so much, Dr. Rakesh, Neeta, and Rahul, who's deaf. This is the first time ever that deaf people are allowed to ask questions, which is so important about this coronavirus, which is not an easy pandemic. It is good that the deaf people are getting aware and they should know about the virus and how to protect themselves. Thank you. We have another one. I want to thank you so much, Doctor, for helping pass on information to all of us. So I thank you that all the deaf people now are able to understand and have their advice from you. Thank you very much. So those were some of the comments. So thank you for those people who have sent the comments.
Yes.
Now we will start with the questions.
Yes.
So the first question is from Sangeeta Gala and she's from Mumbai. So let's look at that. I know that we have to wash our hands to protect ourselves, but my concern is maybe a lot of water will be wasted. And I know it's summer approaching very soon and there will be water scarcity. But I know, and of course we have to wash our hands when we go out of the house and get back home. Also, if we buy vegetables or groceries or anything that we touch outside, I know we have to wash our hands. If we go out for work and come back, even then, I understand we have to wash. But if we are at home all the time and we haven't gone out, we are just with our family, do we have to keep washing at regular intervals? I mean, this question is there not only for deaf people, but for other hearing people as well. So can you please let me know, do we have to wash even if we are at home constantly?
Yes. I would say it would be always a good habit to keep washing your hands. But yeah, given the circumstances that you told me, the summer is coming, the water scarcity and everything, I would tell you this. If you are in strict quarantine, I repeat myself, if you are in strict quarantine, then it's okay if you don't keep washing your hands repeatedly. The thing is, as you already told, you yourself told that you need to go out to get groceries and vegetables, and even if you are not going, somebody else is bringing, or somebody else from your house is going out to bring it. They, even if they come home, when they wash hands and after that only they enter, even though also they would have stamped somewhere, their feet could be carrying the germs or any other viruses. So if they walk on the floor and they by mistake keep their feet on the furniture, is going to get the germs. So what I would advise is, if you are in strict quarantine, then it's fine. Otherwise, if somebody is going out or coming in, anybody from your house, then I would advise you to keep washing your hands at least for the following few days, that 4 to 5 days.
Thank you. So we have one more question from Sangeeta. So when we buy these vegetables or water bottle or anything that we get from outside and we bring it home, do we have to wash it with water? Is it enough to wash it just with water? Should we use vinegar or baking soda and soak it for about 10 minutes? Is there anything special that we need to do now? Can you please let me know?
Yes.
Related to this, doctor, we had another person asking a question which is related to this vegetables and washing them. So that person asked, what about onions and potatoes? How do we wash them? Can we wash them and then keep?
Yes, yeah. It's a very nice question, and I would say it's a very deep question, owing to two things. First thing is like it's always better to wash your vegetables and fruits when they come from outside. Normally, you wash it, you dry it for few hours. That's I would say to 6 to 9 hours. After that, you use it. And as far as washing it with or soaking it with vinegar or baking soda is concerned, what I would say is so far there's no proven paper or any research topic that's vinegar or baking soda being effective against coronavirus. So there's no proven fact. But see, ideally, why we soak the vegetables with baking soda or vinegar is when you soak it in the water with them, what happens is it does two things. It changes the pHs of the water. So when the pH is changed, all of the bacteria or other germs will be dead. And the next thing is the pesticides which is found on the outer layer of the vegetables will go off. So what I would say is wash your vegetables, and though there is no proven paper or any research topic, it's not going to hurt to wash it with vinegar or baking soda. If you have it, you can do that too, but we cannot assure you that the coronavirus is going to die because of vinegar or baking soda. And yeah. And to the second question, yes, this is again a like very nice question. The thing is, why the viewer is asking whether we can dry the onion and potatoes, whether we can wash it or not, is normally potatoes and onions release a type of gas which gives moisture to the outer layer of the potato and onion. So what happens is because of these moisture, these vegetables tend to get spoiled very easily. So when you wash the vegetables and you are adding it to the moisture, there are more chances of vegetables being rotten so easily. So what I would do is I would advise is like wash it either with normal water or vinegar or like whatever you wash it with. Just dry it very well, not in the direct sunlight, in a dry place for 6 to 9 hours minimum, and after that you can use it. So dry it well, and if you're not going to dry it well, onions and potatoes are going to be spoiled. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So this information is for myself as well. You know, I think how onions or potatoes can be washed and all that. So I understand now that we have to
Yes.
dry it
Yes.
properly, even after
Yeah.
washing. We have to
Yeah.
dry.
Yes.
All right, thank you for that information.
Yes.
That was really helpful. So we have the next question from Murugan from Hyderabad. So this coronavirus I know has started from China because of reason that I'm not aware of or I'm not sure about. But why wasn't it contained there, and how did it spread worldwide? How did that happen? I mean, why couldn't that have been contained? Like, for example, we have seen other viruses in Kerala, which was contained, and medical help was there, and so we were able to contain it. And I also know there was another virus in Surat, Gujarat, where again medical professionals have done their best and contained that virus. But what about this corona now?
Yes.
How is it that it is spread so fast and so far and wide?
Yeah. Yes. The thing is, as you rightly said, this disease or this pandemic, COVID-19, starting point was on the starting of November and December of 2019 in Yuan province of China. From there, it spread to all over the world through travelers. and it's spread from one province to other province, then to other states and countries and all over the world. If you ask me why it is so dangerous, why it's spreading so fast than other virus, it's because of mainly three factors, I would say. The first factor being the contagiousness, second being the mode of transmission, and the third factor being the virulency or the aggression of the virus. So the mode of spread, as you rightly said, there was this as you rightly said, there was this outbreak in Southeast Asia on Nipah virus. So what happened is Nipah virus is mainly a zoonotic disease. That means if there is an affected animal or a bird, it eats the fruit, and somebody human is going to eat that fruit. The virus spreads through that. So that's how it spread. It also spread through human to human contact, which was relatively less. In a study of 242 patients, 83 odd patients got the virus through human to human contact. The rest of the 150 odd patients got the virus only through the animal. So mainly it's a zoonotic disease, but whereas coronavirus is human to human contact. It is the mode of transmission is through droplet, which is very easy. And the second one being contagiousness. Okay, so it's very easily to spread from one human to human due to droplet infection. And the third thing being the virulency or aggression of the virus. Also, this normal flu or normal cold is also caused by normal virus. That's called a viral fever, as you all normally know. Well, it is not that aggressive, not virulent. It doesn't kill you. Your immune system can fight through it. But coronavirus is more aggressive. It affects your respiratory system so badly that it's become so irreparable. So that these three factors make coronavirus more dangerous, and the pandemic being more dangerous in the present situation.
Right. So that was really informative, doctor. So the next question is from Mervin from Mumbai. Right. So this question is about non-veg food. So when we buy non-vegetarian food from outside, this is related to that. So I know that there was a tiger which was affected by coronavirus and died somewhere. So what my concern is, will the animals that we buy, like chicken and mutton or any other animal that we buy to eat, will that be affected by the virus because they are all in close contact and in clusters? The other one is it safe to just wash it and use it for eating?
Yes, yes, it is true that it is seen in big cats like tiger. That too, it's seen very recently. This is the first time it's been seen in a big cat like tiger. But one thing that is sure is it's not seen in goats, chicken, or fish. So I would say it's definitely safe for you to eat non-veg, mutton, chicken, or fish. But what I would say is you have to be careful in two stages. One is where you go and buy the meat. It's going to be a very crowded place. Maintain the social distancing, wear proper mask, and see to that you don't catch the virus while you go there and get it. And second thing being washing the meat and washing the cover that you bought the meat. So you bring home the meat, transfer it to a vessel, wash it well, take it in. Obviously, you're going to cook it. When you cook it with boiling water, it's going to whatever it's germs which is going to be there is going to go off. But the cover, you're going to touch the cover. You have to dispose the cover. So what I would say is take the cover, dispose it outside itself, then wash your hands, wash your feet, then you come back in. This is what I would say, and it's definitely safe for you to eat meat at this time. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for that information. So we have another question from Mervin. So this is regarding masks. So can we use handkerchiefs or towels, or should we have to use only the N95 mask? I know that N95 masks are safe, but what about the handkerchief or towel?
Yeah. For you to understand this question better, you need to know what is the function of mask, what and all a mask can do. Mainly the mask that we use here, this is the mask that we use. This is a normal 3-ply mask. So the function of this mask is to prevent the droplets from your mouth going out. That's it. So see, when you put this, you have gap here, here, and also here. You have gaps all over. The thing is, the droplets and aerosols from outside can enter your mask, but whatever you cough or you sneeze won't go out. That is the main function of this mask. And this is the N95 mask. So if you see in this, you'll have a proper seal. So you will have a seal here all over. This is called a respirator. So what happens? This prevents the aerosol and all the droplets from going out and also coming in. So this is a better way of using the mask. But the thing is, this is what I would say is for the medical professionals who's treating the patients right now, the first line treating doctors and paramedics, nurses, and stuff. So I would say we'll not have this for now. It's better if they have, because we should not create an availability issue for them. So I would say you can use this mask, the normal 3-ply mask. If you are asking me about the kerchief or a hand towel, these towel and handkerchief is going to be the same. It's going to do the same work as what these 3-ply mask is going to do. So it is okay if you're going to use that towel or handkerchief instead of these masks. Yeah.
Great. So that's good to know. But I have a related question to that. How often should we wash the mask or the handkerchief?
Yeah. You cannot wash a mask, so you can use this mask for a few days. Even that is not advocated or recommended, but you can use. It becomes like at least for 3 to 4 days, and even in these 3 to 4 days, you have to dry it properly in a dry place, and after that you can use it again. That to maximum 3 to 4 days. Otherwise, ideally, they recommend to use one mask every time you use it. It's not recommended to wash it again. But as far as the kerchief and hand towels are considered, you can wash it every time. So after using it, come back home before entering, put it outside for wash, and the next time you go out, use a different handkerchief. And after this one is washed properly and dried properly, after 3 4 days, you can use the same kerchief. So I would say have 3 to 4 handkerchiefs or towels, so you can alternatively use it the next day. Yeah.
Right, thank you. So the next question is from a really lovely old couple from Delhi. So first we'll have the lady ask a question. So I'm seeing this coronavirus for the first time. How do you even start? Does it start or trigger with a cold or a cough? I want to really understand that, because I know the symptoms and the illnesses that comes with different diseases like chickenpox or smallpox. I know how it looks like on the body. I also know how a flu, can show its symptoms, like you feel very weak and have a lot of fatigue. And if you have high fever, it could probably be typhoid or something else, but we will have to check with the doctor. I know that. And I also know about cholera, because diarrhea is the main symptom for that. And I know what medications need to be taken, or any home remedies that can, kind of suffice for the symptoms. But coronavirus is something that I really don't know, and I need your help to let me know what is it that I need to identify in me if I have to go to a doctor and be worried about if I have the virus.
The thing is, the sad part of Corona is you don't have any separate or distinctive feature or symptom saying this could be Corona. It starts with the normal cold, sore throat, and fever. Sometimes it can represent without the fever also, sometimes without anything also. It is called an asymptomatic carrier. That is, without any symptoms, the virus is there, you could be spreading it. That's it. But the thing is, there's no distinctive feature or a distinctive symptom for it to show separately. So only way that you can make sure whether you've got corona is you have to go to the hospital, take a swab, and do a COVID-19 test. But don't panic. People who are a little old have less immune system, so they are more prone to catch these. But don't panic. Don't panic if you have cold or fever. Wait for 3 to 4 days. Take medication as prescribed by doctor. If it doesn't subside in 3 to 4 days, then you can again go to the doctor. Then you can get tested. But so don't panic. But the only way to find out whether you have corona is only by a lab test, right? No other features. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yes, thank you. So we have a husband, Mr. Gopalakrishnan from Delhi. That's his next question. What I want to understand and need your help to understand is, that coughs can be of different types, right? It could be because of tuberculosis, or it could be other regular cough as well. And similarly for cold or a running nose, it could be because of a cold weather or something cold that we ate. I know that, I identify that. But about coronavirus, how can I identify if a person is affected and how I need to keep a distance from them? So, like, for example, the person is affected with cholera, and then I need to make sure I'm keeping a safe distance from them. So, what I want to know is also, is there any medication or any home remedy that we can use to prevent or safeguard ourselves? Something like, boiling ginger or lime with tea. Does that help? Does that help us from the coronavirus? Can you please let me?
Yes. The thing is, in coronavirus, as you said, there's no specific symptom, so you cannot identify a person and distance yourself. The best thing to do now is staying back at home, follow the lockdown, and maintain social distancing, keep washing your hands. Otherwise, you cannot identify a person and keep distance. The sad part is every person you see that you have to think that he's going to have corona and distance yourself. That is the sad part of the pandemic right now. So the other thing, there's no home remedies. The treatment is going to be as same as treating a cough and cold. As you rightly said, the immune system has to kick in and it has to fight with the virus. So there's no home treatment. If you're identified with corona, you should be taken to a hospital, and treatment has to be done there by isolating you. If you ask me if there's anything that can boost up your immunity, yes, everything that you told, ginger can boost up your immunity, garlic, onion, you can incorporate all the food items which can improve your immunity, green leafy vegetables, and eat food at the proper time, do yogas so that you can strengthen your lungs. So that's what we can do right now. This is the like the maximum preventive measure that we can take. Being in a lockdown and boosting up your immunity is what we can do. So yeah, this is the best thing. This is the maximum we can do right now.
Right. Yes. Thank you. That is really useful information. So we also have some questions from our viewers, which is very similar and common. So I will ask those questions. So the first one there is, was coronavirus already there, or is it something new? So is coronavirus something from the past or is it new?
Coronavirus was already there. It was already there in animals, mainly in horses. I got this information through one of my colleagues' father who worked in animal quarantine. So he used to tell every animal or every horse which was transferred was first tested for corona. It was not found in humans and it was not spreading to humans, but now it's spreading to humans. That's what this pandemic is about. And there was like previously there was one outbreak called SARS, subacute respiratory syndrome. That was also caused by corona, but different strain. But it was contained very easily at that time, and after that there was no positive people, so it was relaxed after that. But now this pandemic seems to be spreading very fast, and the virus seems to be mutating very fast.
Right. So the next question is, if corona was already there, so why did they not find any medication or vaccine for that?
Yes, as I said earlier, the corona was there. It was first there only in animals. Animals in vaccine and animals and humans are not same. It's a little different. So there was no vaccine developed for humans as there was no much like spread of the virus to humans. And secondly, when there was outbreak called SARS, it was contained easily, as I said, and there was no much of positive corona positive patients after that. You need a you don't have to wantedly infect a person and develop a vaccine. So since it was contained and since they didn't expect another outbreak like that, no vaccine was found after that. And also there was no, as I said before, there was no positive human beings to be tested upon. So it was just relaxed. Now this situation calls for a vaccine, and the scientists are under progress and they are working to do it. Yeah.
Doctor, so this is a question that is related to the vaccine. I heard news which was just sent to me on WhatsApp saying that there are some doctors and some scientists in UK who are, researching on a vaccine, and it is going to be given out very soon. Is that right?
No. The thing is, of course, there are researches going on. Like there are many stages of researches. First, you have to find a paper. You have to give a hypothesis. It has to be approved by a council. Then it has to be tested and presented in a group. And after that, it has to be tested in animals. After that, it has to be tested in selective group of human beings safely after the consent, and the last after that only it can be out in the market. For now there's no human trials going now, as far as my knowledge. So I don't see vaccine coming out anytime now. And yeah, I don't think that's going to be vaccine anytime now. The research is on the way, we can expect it, but there's no human trials happening right now.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is coronavirus and COVID-19, are they both the same or are they different?
They are both the same. Corona is the name of the virus, and COVID 19 is the name given to this pandemic by WHO. That is coronavirus disease, COVID 19, 2019. So, COVID 19 is the name for this pandemic given by WHO. Both are technically the same. It is a situation, this is the virus. Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's useful to know. So the next question is, so is COVID-19, is that restricted to India alone?
Definitely not. So I think everybody should be knowing it. The thing is, it's all over the world. As I told you, it originated in China. By now, USA is in the top of the list, having more affected patients and more death. Next comes the European countries and many other countries to follow. In India is in the last few countries in which as far as the counts is concerned. So it's there all over the world. It's definitely not restricted to India.
All right, yes. Um, so those were the questions from our viewers. So thank you very much for answering those specific questions. And now I'm sure that the deaf people are all better aware about COVID and how to take care of themselves.
Yes.
Um,
Al-
yes, sir.
Always pleasure. Always a pleasure to be talking to you, Mrs. Nita, and always a pleasure to help the community. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Some viewers also asked us in their videos as to how can they identify which are the hotspots in their cities. So I would like to inform those viewers that we have a link given which they can go to and check for their areas to see which are the hotspots. This is information shared by the government of your individual state. Okay. So we are almost at the end of this interview and question answer session. So I want to um, add something for our viewers that we will very shortly inform all of you about some question answer quiz or a competition which is related to the coronavirus and the interviews and the question answer we've had with Dr. Rakesh. So I hope you're all looking forward to it. So we will very shortly inform. Thank you very much, Doctor, and all of you. Please stay home and stay safe.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mrs. Nita.